Hi, my loves. How are we doing? All right. In today's episode, we are going to talk about what not to do in a twin flame journey, okay? My goal on my page. Now, hi, if you haven't met me, I am a tarot reader. I do specialize in twin flames, soul ties, karmic removals, all that sort of jazz. So if you haven't met me, hi, welcome. But on this episode, I'm going to talk about what not to do on a twin flame journey. And the whole point of my page is to not promote obsession, because I do understand, especially being caught up on some of the misinformation on this app, it leads people to some scary spiritual psychosis, and this is something I want a lot of you to avoid. Even if none of this applies to you, if you haven't tried any of this stuff, save this video and come back to it in case you think about doing any of this stuff. These are things of what not to do. These are huge form of chasings. I have seen people do this. I have known personal people try to do this in a twin flame journey, and I'm telling you right now, it doesn't go in your favor at all. I even wrote it down, and a lot of this on my list relates to spells. Even if you don't do it yourself, I have a lot of times I see people go to practitioners for this stuff, okay? So again, these are kind of things to 100% avoid. Do not do, I don't care what the circumstances is. Again, if you're in a twin flame journey, here we go. Number 1, cord cutting rituals, okay? If you ever had one done on you before, or if you went to something before, again, twin flames are very rare. Cord cutting rituals, one of your guys' candles, it doesn't matter which one, you're bound to break that cord away from each other, and one of your guys' flames is bound to go out. Now, I do actual personal some cord cutting rituals for people, and this is how I'm able to tell if they're in a twin flame journey. Do not do cord cuttings because it just doesn't work. For one, you're one soul. You're breaking the cord on yourself. You're cutting yourself off. It doesn't work. But anyways, I have one story. I did a cord cutting on this girl one time, and she didn't tell me they were in a twin flame connection. She just said, I'm consumed over this person. It's time for me to let go. I'm like, girl, I got you. I'm doing this cord cutting, and I noticed the cord broke, but their candles never went out, and the cord was never completely broken. It was just fried. And their candles melted down at the same frequency until they both went out. There was no cause of friction. There was none of that. And that's when I had to awkwardly relay the message and say, hey, funny story, it's not meant to be cut. It doesn't work. You could try. I don't care how frustrated you are with your person. You can't. You cannot cut your one soul. That is you. That person's you. They are you. You can't cut that off. Save your money, save your time. No cord cuttings. Just don't do it. Another one, this one to me scares the living crap out of me. I have my strong opinions about these kind of spells. You will never catch me do these for anybody. I will never do them I have never done this in my personal life. Obsession and domination spells. That is scary. You are messing, I'm sorry, with free will. I gotta say it. But in a twin flame journey, because I'm telling you right now, if you go, again, you do it yourself or you go to a practitioner, it doesn't matter. I'm telling you right now, if your person that evening or a few days later, a week later, doesn't matter, pounds on your door and proclaims their love to you and gives you da-da-da-da, that's a karmic. I talked about it in my last karmic relationship video. Go watch that to identify if you're in a karmic relationship. You can manipulate that person back into your life. A karmic. You can manipulate a karmic back in your life. You can manipulate a soulmate back in your life. You can't do that with a twin. And I'm telling you right now, if you think your person's really running from you, they're going to be sprinting away from you. I have personally seen obsession and domination spells on twin flames backfire. In fact, if you think, again, your journey's taking forever, it's really going to take a long time. A lot of times I've seen it, they will go after somebody else. It is so scary. Don't do it. You both, twins, again, you guys feel each other's energy. You guys move at the same frequency in the 3D world, right? So you're foolish to think your person doesn't know what you're really up to, and you don't think they're going, and running for the hills. Just don't do it. This is tough love in a nice way. If you're thinking about doing some form of obsession spells or you're planning on doing it, have already done it, nicest way, you got some serious healing to do. Why do you feel that codependent on this person that you have to have them at your doorstep, that you have to have them call you, you have to have them text you? Okay? There's a reason, in the nicest way, that person's not in your life and they don't want much to do with you or the connection, in the nicest way. Okay, if you want that obsession on them and you want that kind of love from them in the nicest way, you don't love yourself. Okay, that's the tough love. I don't know what I said there. That's the tough love. I don't care how bad you miss them, how anger, and I've even seen some people do this out of spite because they think they can, and you're letting your ego control. Ego is the number one enemy for a lot of situations on this earth, especially twin flames. Okay? So keep that in mind, because the number one common denominator a lot of feminines you guys hold in the twin flame journey is you have control issues. Twin flame journeys are a humble way of telling you you have zero control of your person, you have zero control of the outcome, when your union is coming, what lessons are coming your way, you have no control over it. None. Okay, so you taking that reins and doing something crazy, you're going to, in the nice way, you're going to piss off your spirit team. Another spell work is third-party removals. No, and that's what I just talked about, is you have no control over it. And again, if your twin is involved with a third party, with dealing with other, any sort of karmics, why is that? Again, feminines, you guys lead the way emotionally. So what is it in the, again, nicest way, do you need to work on yourself in order for your person to start pulling away from the karmics? So again, lighting up a candle in the middle of the night and forcing somebody out of your person's life is not a form of speeding up the journey. Again, you're going to piss off your spirit team. And again, that's part of, I've seen that a lot. I want a third party removal spell. No. And what does it turn into? A lot of times, again, these spells don't work, or it backfires on you, sorry. And a lot of times, and that's another thing I added to the list, drama involvement. It starts a lot of chaos. Again, if you think what is happening in your separation is very chaotic, try any of these things and you're really going to go nuts, okay? The last one I wrote down is false manifestations. The stuff I see on this app to get your person back is insane, and thousands of people fall for it. This is an example of, what I see. Like, pretend this is a phone, okay? I'm just using a card. But anyways, I've seen this manifestation. You want your person back? Lick your fingers, put it behind your ear, close your eyes, say their name 6 times, and I promise you, they're going to call you. And a lot of people in those comments are like, bet, I'm going to try it. I saw another one. Okay, pretend this is a phone. Put your phone on airplane mode, draw a cross and say their name like 17 times, and imagine in your head what kind of feeling you're going to get when that person calls you. I hate to break it to some of you guys, but what those manifestation tools, again, those are false. That's not real life. And again, if that does work, I'm telling you right now, it's a karmic. You cannot manipulate your person back into your life. It doesn't work. It's going to make them pull away from you, even more. That all this stuff I listed is way worse than you blowing up their phone and screaming and crying and begging for them back, okay? False manifestations, and including the spells I talked about, they are the scariest ways of putting people through spiritual psychosis. And in a nice way, those people that are going online saying, yeah, lick your fingers, put it behind your ear, all that sort of nonsense, that is not them trying to help you. That is a marketing tool. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to do that dumb crap. Jonathan, whatever the case is, and you're getting frustrated because that person's not coming towards your way. So what do? You go try and call somebody for any of these spells because your ego's overruling. It is so scary. All these things I listed. Now, these are major, some extreme cases of chasing, okay? Again, if you haven't done any of this, save this video and don't do it. I'm telling you right now, you're setting yourself up for failure. I always use the term as a cake. Think about it. Your spirit team is baking up this cake for you and your twin when union comes, and you're anxious. You want the process to run faster, so what do? You start adding crazy stuff to the batter. You add in extra eggs, you put in chili flakes, and do some crazy stuff. And what is that your spirit team going to do? They're going to be like, well, great, now we're going to have to start all over. That's what you're doing with all these things. I love you guys. I hope this helped. And I will see you on the next one. If you guys have any more questions, I'm here. But until then, bye guys.